What is up, guys? MrZ here, and the video is going to be a little bit different today. Sorry about that. I had to clear my throat. I've been sick for the past few days, actually. So I'm coming out of it, and I'm able to talk again. I've actually had a few video ideas that I've wanted to do, but I've also had a lot of time to collect some Call of Duty content and send it to my editor, my buddy Josh, JB, so that you guys can know his nickname from here on out. But yeah, what I actually wanted to talk about today is well, first off, um, I just figured, I might as well make some videos that gets you guys to, I'm saying this wrong, allows you guys to get to know me a little bit better. So with that being said, I'm going to talk about my life and life-changing moments, various times in my life that kind of warped me into who I am today and what's made me the person that's sitting right before you guys. So I think this is going to be um, not only a good vlog series, but also something to help me kind of look back on my past and be like, you know, I am actually leading a pretty good life and I'm sticking to it. So with all that said, um, I guess the big thing that people always ask me about, not always, but like after they get to know me, and they find out that I have separated parents. Um, my parents were actually divorced when I was at a young age. I was 5 or 6. I can't remember the exact age. But as far as it goes as remembering it, I honestly can't say that I do. I don't remember very much of it, and I think it's because I did know what was going on that caused, like my brain kind of just blocked out uh, those moments in my life that it just chose not to remember that. And I remember a few things, and as far as short term uh, trauma, I don't want to be too dramatic. I don't know if trauma sounds very dramatic, but um, as far as it goes with like short term problems that I had, uh, I feel like I took it pretty well. Like I remember being upset a few times that they weren't together, and I had a hard time grasping the concept of my parents not being together. But because I was at such a young age, it was so easy for me to transition and just learn how to cope with it, I suppose. Like my my parents always tried to keep a good relationship in front of my brother and I. Obviously, that doesn't always happen, and we did get to see a few things that we probably shouldn't have, or we got to hear a few things that we shouldn't have. And as far as that goes, at my young age, I can't say that I remember that. I do remember a few events that uh, kind of it kind of stuck, and they've been stuck in my head for um, quite some time, and that's just not something I want to talk about or I have a problem with. Like, it wasn't that big of a deal that it actually caused me to keep this inside and bubbling up all these years. No, it wasn't bad, but it's just something I'm not comfortable bringing up over the internet. And but long term, being like my teenage years and stuff, um, I've heard of a lot of kids kind of getting rebellious and going against like their parents and stuff just because they can, and they just took advantage of it. And I wasn't like that. I can't say that I did that at all. I mean, I had my rough patches of being rebellious, but I think every teenager had that. But I've never held it against my parents for getting a divorce. I've always, I guess, kind of understood that it was just meant to. not happen that way. And I've always accepted it. So as far as long term goes, it wasn't hard at all. We were split up 50-50. I got to see my dad as much as I got to see my mom. Holidays were all 50-50. The bigger holidays like Christmas, um, we would most likely spend the mornings of Christmas over at my dad's because it was more of a big thing over there. And Christmas Eve at night, we would normally be at my mom's house for a little bit, and we would open up the presents and stuff there, and then head over to my dad's because we always had Santa Claus over. But we would normally, just do normal things like that. It was like um, a normal family, I guess. Like it was like having a normal family, but in two separate places. I don't know how to explain that, but and I never felt like I missed out. And a lot of people assume that kids miss out just because their parents aren't together, but they they got through their differences. Or they got past their differences, and they put them aside for my brother and I to grow up and get the love and care that we actually need. And I completely love them and respect them for that. And it's really helped throughout the years. And the fact that I do have a stepmom that she's been around since I was 7 or 8. Um, she is a second mom to me, and yes, we had our rough times, and we didn't get along very well. And there's a few times I did throw it out that she isn't my mom, and uh, I apologize for that. But that only created a bond that's pretty strong now too, and I love her, and I don't know where my brother and I would be today without the three parents that I do have, because my dad my dad wasn't always the greatest cook, and when my stepmom came into the equation, she kind of um, helped out. We went from wearing clothes that were pretty much exactly the same, aside from the color, to both doing our own thing, getting to kind of having a choice of what we wore. Little things like that that kind of just spiced up our lives. But other than that, like having separated parents, I'm closing this out. Having separated parents wasn't difficult, and I'm not saying I'm all for separation. No, if I have the choice, I will never um, get a divorce ever. Not because I don't want them to end up like me. I think I'm a very good role model, but I just something about it I don't like, and I've never quite figured it out. But if it's my decision, I won't ever separate from my children's mother. But I respect my father and I respect my mother, and can't really change it. It doesn't bother me, and I'm a pretty good person. So thank you guys for watching this.